All right,
great. Just want to ask so far, what's been the most challenging aspect of fall camp for you? Most exciting aspect?
Creating continuity with the line and the offense. Every year it's a new season. You gotta treat it differently. So I'd say it's not difficult, but that's the part we're working through right now. Not growing pains, but working together, making sure that this is tight and everything is going well. And the most fun part is seeing your best friends every day, playing football with your brothers, and having a purpose and getting ready for a great season.
Corey, I want to ask you about a younger player on the team, Diego Pounds. Obviously, guys obviously has some experience, but what is some of the things you've kind of seen from him during camp so far?
Yeah, Diego. When you look at him, he's prototypical NFL left tackle. Massive dude, great character. Diego's taken the next step in his career. He's had a couple of great days. We've been out here 3 days. I just want him to stick to the process, and I'm very excited for him.
Mac has talked about the need to get some of the white team guys in, get them on the field some this year and mix them in with you guys. You guys didn't sub out much at all last year. So how important are these first couple of weeks of fall camp and getting the chemistry with a different guy at right guard, maybe a different guy at left guard and so on, so you are in that position where they can play with the ones that they're calling on?
Right. O-line is one of the only positions, since quarterback, I'd probably say that, there's really no subs. You play the same 5 guys, you create that continuity, you create that web with them, that relationship. You guys think the same. With that being said, we have a couple guys on the white group, that are busting their tails, and I'm very excited for them. And like I was just talking about the process. Not everything's going to happen so quickly for them. Just sticking your nose to the grindstone, and I'm excited for these guys.
Do you sense the depth? Coaches always talk about we need at least 8 on the offensive line that can play. Do you sense that you guys are either at 8 or near 8?
Yeah, we're getting near 8. We're getting near 8, and that's the goal. You're exactly right.
William Barnes was right beside you to your right last year. Now he's out there at left tackle. I mean, what's your confidence in him to be able to handle that switch, and how do you think it's going to work out?
Yeah, Barnes is an older guy. He's mature. He's played a lot of football. With that comes playing different positions. Very excited for him. This journey at left tackle, he's done a great job. He's going against great defensive ends in Des Evans and Cayman Rucker. Great blitz packages from Coach Chiz in that defense. So, my confidence with him is full. I expect him to do what Will Barnes does, and I'm excited to see how he plays this football season.
We got to watch a lot. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Just to follow up, you've been around a long time. I mean, is that kind of a weird move to go from inside like that to outside? I mean, I know you could usually flip the tackles, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what you're looking for is versatility, and him being able to switch from a completely different stance, from a right-handed stance to a left-handed stance is, remarkable, should be applauded. And, like I was just talking about the process, we got to keep refining our tools every single day so you can be the best left tackle you can.
We were out here Wednesday, and Jonathan Adorno was to your right a lot. How have you seen him grow in the last year, especially getting to the point now where he's going to be on the field a lot?
Right. John's had a great offseason. He's taking care of his body really well. He's in the playbook, he's studying, he's playing hard. He's a physical guy. I'm very excited for John Adorno, and I'm excited to see where this goes for him as well.
Kind of going back to the depth at O-line that we were talking about, how do you help some of these younger guys that are getting reps, getting opportunities, develop trust not only with that core that you need, but also to be able to kind of feel like they have the ability to protect Drake while he's in the pocket?
Right, yeah, that's a great question. So, I'm here to serve. A lot of people think different reasons why you play football and you come back when you're as old as I am, but I want to pass on my knowledge. I want to make sure that my teammates, my younger guys, are getting every resource possible out of me, whether that's extra film, if they want to lift, if they want to do some work after practice, just picking my brain. They say that greatness leaves footprints, and not saying I'm great, but I'm chasing it, and these guys are either buying into that, and we're working towards something amazing, and I'm excited for all these young guys.
Does it help that Drake also has a year of being a starter under his belt too, so he kind of already has an idea of what that core looks like, to be able to kind of put in his input to be able to kind of give you guys that mutual beneficial feedback?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Drake being older, it helps the entire football team. It helps the defense. He's making different reads, different calls. As far as the protection-wise, it's on us. So it's on each individual guy, and then we come together as a group. So that's our job to protect him. He's not worried about that.
Kind of going off of that a little bit. Kind of knowing that Drake, is that number one guy. Last year was maybe a little bit up in the air to a certain point. You did allude to it a little bit, but has there been any differences in the way he's kind of approached the game, carried himself a little bit at this point of the season compared to last year?
Yeah, this time last year he was fighting for a job. This time now he's a big fish. He's the same dude. He's been leading his tail off, playing his tail off. He's been serving. He's been teaching Connor and those young quarterbacks like it's his job. So very impressed with him, and I'm excited.
Is there anything, from your perspective, is there anything unique about blocking for Drake compared to some of the guys who block for at Miami?
No, he's a superstar. So it's exciting to wake up every day and serve. That's my job, is to serve. We block and we don't get very much credit. So I'm excited.
Corey, you alluded to it, earlier about being one of the older guys. I mean, you were in college in 2017,
right?
A long time ago.
Right.
This is it. I mean, this will be your last year.
Right.
Like, with that said, does that in any way change the way you're thinking about how you want this year to play out, or how you're trying to approach it? Does the fact that it's the last ride, you ain't coming back?
Yeah,
how do you think about that?
I thought last year was the last ride too, and I played good enough to get on radars, and I've been playing for a long time. It's not like I've been sitting on the bench or doing anything along those lines. I have a lot of starts under my belt. Been all conference twice, and I just want to take that next step, and I want to, at this point in my career, I want to go from good to great. I want to be a great offensive lineman. I want to be the best center in the ACC, and like you were just saying, does that change? I wouldn't say so. Even when I was a young kid, I was still chasing this, but there's more fire now. Last ride.
With being on the radar, I assume you've gotten certain feedback. What are a couple of the things in the feedback that you've gotten that is an absolute point of emphasis for you personally?
We'll find out more about that later this season. So I can't comment on that. I'm still working on the process every single day. A guy as old as me, and I'm still in here working my tail off every single day to get better. So all that will take care of itself. I'm worried about protecting Drake, getting our running backs holes, getting the receivers the ball, and leading this football team. So that will all take care of itself later.
And just going back to Drake, any sort of interesting or funny stories off the field that we don't know about?
Plenty.
Yeah, too many to count.
Still his bodyguard?
Yeah, I wish I can give you a specific story. There's a lot of cameras and mics, but sorry about that.
We've heard some.
You mentioned in the spring about being like his bodyguard, that kind of thing, making sure he's safe. You still?
I've heard some other ones too.
Yeah, grapevine, huh?
Any intense ping pong, pickleball battles?
Pickleball, not ping pong. I can't keep that little white ball on the table. It just hits the wall. We're working on it though, guys.
It's a trendy thing for football coaches to say, we want to get more physical. We're going to be a more physical football team this year. That's like a trendy off-season thing. Like in basketball, the coaches say, we're going to play fast. You never hear a basketball coach say, we're going to walk it up and play slow. Football coaches say, we're going to be physical. Are you guys actually doing that? And how do you do that? How do you become a more physical football team? You can't just snap your fingers and do it. What does that look like?
Yeah, it's the way you train. It's the way you wake up. It's the way you go to bed at night. It's the way you block somebody. Are we getting more physical? Yes. And when we're talking about physicality, we're talking about who? The O-line, the D-line, the linebackers, maybe the running backs and the tight ends. I'm not talking to the receivers. I'm not talking to the quarterback. So, every day we got to wake up with an edge, focus on our technique that we're being coached. And like you were just saying, we got to get more physical. I heard that back in 40 years ago when I first started playing football.
Well, how does Coach Clements factor in that too? Because he looks like he's a no-nonsense, no-nonsense dude out there.
Coach Clem's awesome. He's a great offensive line coach. Very straightforward, not a screamer, very technical. I have all the respect in the world for him, and I'm very glad that he's at our university.
Staying on that, as far as the technical stuff that he's taught you guys, what in that group of technical things allows you to be more physical? Maybe it improves your balance, which allows you to stay engaged properly longer.
Right. Yeah. I guess our individual work. We're chopping through those ropes every single day. We're under gates. We're staying low. Feet. Feet. Good base. So you're powerful. you know, it's on us. So every day, just waking up and getting to that process and getting better at football.
The games look challenging.
Thanks,